Alright. Alvarado here. We just got back from the Peanuts movie. And I'm sure the whole diversity crowd will say that there weren't enough transgendered characters or Asians or whatever. But there should have been enough politically correct trappings to this film that most people who want to whitewash and erase history should be pretty pleased with themselves. Of course, I've been a Peanuts fan since the late 70s. Mid-70s, late 70s, whatever. Okay, the first thing that just got under my skin about the film was the Red Baron's aircraft had the markings removed. They had the correct DR-1, the triplane. Beautifully done as far as the animation. Great looking aircraft, but they changed the markings. The cross, which for all the kids out there that are planning on doing research on Manfred Vappin, there you can see what the actual markings should have been, which is this cross here. Okay, and of course those markings have been removed from the actual aircraft. The Red Baron was the highest scoring ace of World War I, based on a historical character, not just character, real person. So the character is based on this guy. Anyways, that's what the plane should have looked like. Correct markings. So that annoyed me. That's one of those historical things, like taking the swastika off of an airplane on a model kit cover, right? Political correctness just gone awry. The sock with camel, meanwhile, was completely correct. The British markings were correct, as they should have been. Just the German aircraft, for some reason, they were whitewashed, or blackwashed in this case. This was another major element that really bothered me. In this film, there's a mix-up. Charlie Brown appears to have gotten a perfect score on his standardized test. His yearly, they even mentioned this, yearly standardized test, okay? Somehow or another, this perfect score on this standardized test in the film equates with being a genius, okay? And one scene that really bothered me was Linus protests and says, "Do you really believe that this standardized test can show our intellectual abilities?" Something along those lines. Might not be exact, I'm paraphrasing. And then, you know, the rah, 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 teacher voice just comes pounding at him and knocks him out of his chair, causing him to spin around. And of course, this is supposedly to be humorous, but very nice metaphor for the freedoms that one has while on a public school campus. Forced to take a standardized test. When you point out the obvious, of course, you're silenced. Nice. One more thing I'm going to mention. Of course, this was set in the winter, and don't expect to be getting no Christmas film action out of this thing. This had instead a winter dance. The only indications that there was any sort of holiday going on at all were snowflakes and a flat Christmas tree in the background. That was it. There was nothing to do with Christmas in the film. And when they were singing the carol that they sang in the original Christmas special, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, Snoopy came along because he was pursuing Fifi, another whole storyline, and basically destroyed the entire song. So you heard about maybe 4 seconds of it. So only somebody my age, or a child who'd been introduced to this, the original Peanuts, would have had a slight clue at all about that. So, overall, because of these agendas that were afoot in the film, this erasing of history, this subtle reinforcement of standardized testings equating somehow with intelligence, the approval of the denial of a child's voice, I'm not sure what to think, except perhaps that this film was designed basically to exploit people of my generation from the 70s and earlier who loved Peanuts back in the day. Most people, I'm sure, will be happy with it. They'll love it. You know, they won't think about what these other aspects indicate about our society. I've already heard people complaining about the fact, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that there's not enough diversity. We need to have more freaks or whatever in Charlie Brown. Well, the only black character, of course, is Franklin. But, I mean, again, this cartoon dates back to what, 1953? Something like that. So, I mean, for the times, Charles Schulz was always pretty progressive. What with Peppermint Patty and Marcy, etc. Anyways, if you're going to go take your kid, I would be sure to point those things out so they know that, you know, this is not really necessarily the way the world needs to be, or the way that the world of Peanuts even needs to be. And anyways, that's my review of Peanuts, just pointing out some, what I would presume to be cultural signs of the times. Anyways, signing out. Have a great day. Have a great life. Have a great evening, etc., etc., etc. Peace. Bye.